Hello, all of you. Today is 27th of January 2025, Monday. We are doing a group session. All right. These are yet those group sessions which were in balance of last year. अभी तक इस साल के तो group session शुरू भी नहीं हुए. These are of last year yet. I think this will be session number 39 or 40, something like that. So that is why, as and how we get time, we are trying to complete one so that we are on par with the other group sessions which are going to happen for 2025. So what are we talking about today? Releasing patterns. What is a pattern? A pattern is any habit which is there in your subconscious mind, which is detrimental to your growth. A pattern is any habit within your subconscious mind, which is detrimental to your overall growth. All right. The pattern is disempowering. It does not empower you. It pulls you more and more down in life towards all the negative frequencies. A pattern is not healthy. Now, when I'm saying pattern, obviously I'm talking about negative toxic patterns. I'm not talking about positive patterns like writing your affirmations daily, doing some meditation daily, doing some breathing exercise daily, taking a walk daily, or petting or playing with your dog daily. These are all good patterns, good habits, good behavioral patterns. Here we are talking about patterns which pull us down, which drain our energy, which make us feel tired, exhausted, which even when thought about, completely block the brain, block the flow of energy, chi. Energy is chi. Your breath becomes shallow. You're unable to think. Even if you're able to think, then you end up taking the wrong decision. So all these kind of patterns are not only patterns which are yours, they can also be patterns belonging to someone else. And since you have not done any clearing work, any cleansing work, these patterns may stick to your aura. They may get attached to your ethereal body. They may create bonds in your body, around your body, which then you find difficult to release because this goes on every day. Na? Every day you meet people, every day you talk to so many people, every day you go through so many thought patterns. I have given this example so many times, and today I'm going to repeat this example once again. There is a difference between animals and humans. We are humans, we can think, we can breathe, we can act. We have certain other qualities which we can reflect, we can introspect. We are extroverts, we are introverts. And we carry forward everything. It's an accounting term, balance carried forward. So we carry forward everything to the next day. Animals, the best part about animals is they don't have to carry forward anything. So your dog may have been angry with you today, but he is definitely not going to carry forward that anger for the next day because they are not storing that kind of emotions or negative beliefs or any kind of conditions in their body or in their subconscious mind. The old garbage is not there within them. जिसको हम लोग कहते हैं ना old garbage या कचरा. So that is one difference between animals and us. The second is, even though we are holding on to it, we have been given the choice, we have been given the free will that we can work on it and we can reduce it. But the problem arises when we are not able to let go, not able to release, not able to work on it, or even if we work on it, we do not find the bandwidth, the time, energy involved in clearly getting to the root cause of that pattern. So what are we doing today? Today we are understanding how can we release these patterns. Obviously, to release patterns, first is that you are going to recognize what your pattern is. So give yourself 1 minute to think, what is the pattern today that you would like to release? Give yourself 1 minute, write it down in your notebook. The pattern the pattern I am willing to work on today is the pattern I am willing to work on today is. So first though, acknowledge that pattern कि वो pattern है क्या? What is that pattern? And again, I'm repeating, when I say pattern, I'm talking about a negative habit, a behavioral pattern which is preventing you from growth, a subconscious pattern which is acting as an obstacle to your everlasting success. So what is the line? I am willing to work on this pattern, or the pattern which I am willing to work on today is. Recognize that pattern. Take around 30-40 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes. Or in fact, you can write down 3, 4, 2, 3 patterns also which come up for you. आगे के लिए काम आएंगे. लेकिन आज एक पे ही काम करेंगे. And then you can use the same method and the same procedure to work on other patterns. Write it down. Write it down in your diary, huh? Not on the WhatsApp. Yeah. See how much you're getting. 1, 2, 3, 4. जो भी एक बार आ रहा है, write it down. So, sentence is the pattern which I am willing to work on or which I am willing to release. Release mat likho, wo ekdam heavy ho jayega. The pattern which I am willing to work on today is. Keeping that pattern in mind, now let's start something. Okay. So what are you going to do is you're going to close your eyes. See that you're grounded. Legs are on the ground. Hands and legs are uncrossed. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes and let's think about this pattern. Each one of you think about your own pattern. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and listen to what I'm saying. When I make a statement such as this, the statement that you all have written down now, keeping your eyes closed, keep your eyes closed and listen to this. I have now written down the statement. The pattern which I am willing to work on is, and I now realize when I make a statement like this, I know that it is a beginning point. It opens the way. It opens one door to my subconscious mind. I am saying to my subconscious mind, I am taking responsibility. I am aware that there is something I can do to change this pattern. Take 5 deep breaths. Five deep breaths, one after the other. I'm saying to my subconscious mind, I'm taking responsibility. I'm aware that there is something I can do to change. Sorry. If I continue to repeat this statement, if I continue to repeat this statement at regular intervals during the next few days, two things are going to happen. Keeping your eyes closed, I will either be ready to let whatever it is to go, and this statement will become true for me, or the statement will open up a new door, a new avenue, a new way, a new path, which I can choose instead of the old path. I may get a brilliant idea to replace the pattern. The universe may give me a new thought pattern to replace this pattern. Or my mind, my heart, my body, my teacher, my mentor may ask me, have you tried this? I may come across a book, an information, a sign, a marker, which will be reflecting the same pattern to me. It could even be my guardian angel pointing out that to me again and again. I will be led to the next step that will help me with healing this pattern. So take another deep breath. Now see what the pattern is. Keeping your eyes closed, realize what that one pattern is. And say to yourself, I'm willing to take the next step for my conscious healing of this pattern. I'm willing to take the next step for my conscious healing of this pattern. See how your body is reacting. As I repeat this statement again and again, you repeat this statement again and again. See how your body is reacting. I'm willing to take the next step for the conscious healing of this pattern. I'm willing to take the next step for the conscious healing of this pattern. I am willing to take the next step for the conscious healing of this pattern. Slowly open your eyes and write down the statement. I'm willing to take the next step for the conscious healing of this pattern. I'll keep on repeating 3 to 5 times so you're able to write it down. Open your eyes and write it down. I'm willing to take the next step for the conscious healing of this pattern. I'm willing to take the next step for the conscious healing of this pattern. I'm willing to take the next step for the conscious healing of this pattern. And one final time, I'm willing to take the next step for the conscious healing of this pattern. Somewhere before or after this statement, write down step 1. So this is your step 1. What is step 1? Acknowledgement. Acknowledging the pattern. तुमने अभी सबसे पहले क्या किया है? You have grounded yourself. You have centered yourself. You have come into the knowledge that this pattern is existing in your subconscious mind. And with your conscious mind, you now acknowledge it and you say to your mind, you say to your body, you say to your heart, you say to yourself that I am willing to take the next step for the conscious healing of this pattern. जब तक ये अफर्मेशन, ये स्टेटमेंट, ये डेक्लेरेशन बहुत बार रिपीट करके माइंड को कॉन्शियस सबकॉन्शियस सबकॉन्शियस कॉन्शियस लेवल पे अलाइन नहीं किया तो कोई भी पैटर्न रिलीज नहीं कर पाओ. ये खेल है कॉन्शियस माइंड का और सबकॉन्शियस माइंड. और बहुत सारे हैबिट्स हमारे सबकॉन्शियस होते हैं, विच इज गुड. मॉर्निंग वी गेट अप, वी गो टू द वॉशरूम, वी टेक द टूथब्रश, we open the cap and then we remove the toothpaste, then we start brushing, then we splash water on our eyes. Most of these habits are now embedded in your subconscious mind. You can even sometimes tie a blindfold also and you can do these actions. Don't try that. लेकिन वैसा इतनी आदतें लग गई है, सुबह की जो आदतें होती है, रात की जो आदतें हैं, बहुत सारी चीजें एकदम सबकॉन्शियस हो गई. Some people may get up in the morning and the first thing they pick up the mobile from the stand and they click on the mobile, they see the time और फिर वो शुरू हो जाते हैं. It's become a subconscious pattern. Some people will do something like this. They'll say some mantra or they'll pray. Some people will count something. Some people will say something. These are all subconscious habits. Coming back to our point. So when you say, I'm willing to take the next step for the conscious healing of this pattern, don't write my pattern. अगर मैंने बोला होगा तो cut, clear, delete. Write down this pattern. Don't say my pattern, no? This pattern. Abhi, whatever your pattern was, see how this sounds to you. So let's take 3 examples. If your pattern was overeating, so you are saying, I'm willing to take the next step for the conscious healing of this pattern of overeating. Don't say my pattern of overeating, of this pattern or this existing pattern of overeating. So once you acknowledge, then your mind will give you the steps की overeating को control करने के लिए क्या करना है, क्या नहीं करना है, what is it, what can you do, what can you choose, how can you stop overeating, or you will go to the root cause of the problem. Why do I overeat? I overeat because I want protection. I want a layer of fat or I want a layer of pad around me which will make me feel safe. Then it goes back to childhood. Ki I'm not feeling safe. I'm not feeling safe, or there is not enough food in the house, or there is not enough income in the house, or it can go to various other lifetimes also. That's a different thing. We are not doing therapy work here. We are just recognizing the patterns and trying to release them. What is the second step? Now we go to the second step. Okay, so the second step is, how did this pattern get created in the first place? Patterns get created because of all these negative vibrations and frequencies. Which are they? Guilt, shame, regret, resentment, hatred. जा तूने मेरे लिए ये नहीं किया ना, अब मैं ये नहीं करूंगी. Ego. So what happens? Whenever that situation will arise, you will subconsciously make a mistake and act in that way. Many women in the 50s, 60s, 70s would not eat at night out of anger. They would feed the entire family. They would feed the husband, the in-laws, the children. पूरे दिन का कोई गुस्सा होता, maybe with a mother-in-law, with a husband, with a child, they would not eat at night and they would go hungry. Only to wait and ask, wait and wait and wait कि the husband will come in the bedroom and then ask them कि तुमने खाना खाया क्या, कैसा लगा खाना, क्या है वो है. And if the husband goes to sleep even without asking that, oh God, it becomes even a much deeper rooted pattern of self-respect, of self-esteem. Not only women, men also, kids also, boys, girls. People go hungry. People punish themselves by going hungry, by not doing certain things, by doing certain wrong things, by doing certain illegal things. See, most of the people who have gone into drugs or become drug addicts, or who have gone into some kind of other negative frequency habits, have gone because they wanted revenge. They wanted to spite a parent. S-P-I-T-E, spite. एक पेरेंट को स्पाइट करना था, एक भाई या बहन को स्पाइट करना था, फैमिली मेंबर को स्पाइट करना था, या स्पाउस को स्पाइट करना था. बिकॉज वी ओनली हर्ट आवर लव्ड वंस ना. गली के कुत्ते को या गली के वॉचमैन को या टेलर को या क्या बोलते हैं वो गली का जो कोई है दुकानदार, उसको जाके तो स्पाइट नहीं करने वाले हो ना. यू आर ओनली गोइंग टू स्पाइट द पीपल whom you love. That is the beauty of release. It is always for people. Just right now, just before starting this session, रीता made a statement. मैं बात कर रही हूं, तुमने मेरी 2 बार बात काट ली. And I knew where the conversation was going. I said, देखो already late हो गया हूं, मुझे session complete करने दो. Exactly, we will sit for half an hour and we will thrash this issue out and we'll see what is it. Just I'll give you half an hour. हाँ, तुम तो ऐसे बोल रहे हो जैसे तुम. See the way. If I said I'll give you half an hour, then she says, हाँ तुम तो ऐसे बोल रहे हो जैसे मेरे ऊपर मेहरबानी कर रहे हो बात करके. मैं क्या तुम्हारी क्लाइंट हूं? You have to be very careful during these conversations. These can lead you to that root cause where the person felt that he is always unheard of, या उसकी बात सुनी नहीं जाती है, or the person does not matter, or the person has low self esteem. I am not saying Rita has so low self esteem, लेकिन मैं बोल रहा हूं one particular word or situation can trigger the conversation in that direction. And then what will happen? She may not eat, I may not eat, or we may not eat, or something or the other thing happens and the entire night and the entire vibration is low and it is spoiled. So now we are going to learn कि acknowledge कर लिया तो अभी उसके root cause पे जाते हैं. So again close your eyes and you are talking about your pattern only. मैंने तो एक overeating का example दिया, दूसरा example मैं देने वाला था addiction का, like smoking. Addiction can be anything like smoking or maybe drinking or maybe overeating, maybe porn, watching a lot of porn or just watching TV whole day, you know, couch potato की तरह बैठ के बस पूरा दिन. आए घर पे टीवी देखा, सुबह उठे न्यूज देखा, दोपहर को ऑफिस में न्यूज देखा. People are addicted to news also. Okay, or people are addicted to meditation, to religion, to you know all these rituals. नहीं नहीं नहीं, आज रिचुअल नहीं हुआ तो घर में खाना नहीं बनेगा. जब तक सुबह 7 से 9 बजे तक मेरा पूरा रिचुअल नहीं हो जाता है, I will not go into the kitchen and cook. Many women are like that, many men are like that. It's a sort of a punishment they are inflicting on themselves because they want to spite someone in their life, and that someone may be present, may be alive, and the worst part, the person may not be alive at all. The person may be dead. One of the parents may be dead, the spouse may be dead, the saas, ससुर or the grandparent may be dead, but they are yet in that subconscious pattern कि उनको याद कर करके उनका hatred करते रहते. It's out of hatred. So you need to understand where is this need of keeping this pattern. There is the requirement of getting attached to this pattern coming from. Is it present? Is it past? Is it with a living person? Is it with a dead person? So let's try to go that, okay? So once again, close your eyes, take 5 deep breaths. Close your eyes, ground yourself, take 5 deep breaths. Take 5 deep breaths slowly and steadily. And now, listen to this carefully. When I think of letting go of the need for this pattern in my life, what comes into my mind? So think a little. What comes into your mind when you think, okay, I can work on this pattern, I can release this pattern, I can at least get ready or be willing to work on this pattern. So what need is this pattern fulfilling? What is the need behind it? And the need is a very negative frequency. Huh? The need for attention. I'll give you various needs. You choose whatever need is coming to you, or you can choose your own need, keeping your eyes closed. Is it a need for becoming the center of attraction? Is it a need for getting attention in positive ways? Need for getting attention in negative ways, need for provoking someone ki look, I am here, I exist, why don't you look at me? Need for acknowledgement of your capability or ability to do something that you have learned. Need for that feeling that I have arrived. Yes, मैंने जिंदगी में ये achieve कर लिया. I have arrived, I have come. I have done something with my life. I have found my life purpose. Need for revenge. With this pattern, you are taking revenge on someone who is existing or not existing on the planet. Need for guilt because you might have done something wrong and you are stuck in this pattern. And again, when you go into the pattern, you feel better कि हाँ हाँ मैंने तो बुरा किया था ना, तो मेरे साथ तो ये होना ही है ना, इसमें कौन सी बड़ी बात है, ये तो मुझे भगवान मेरे कर्मों का फल दे रहा है. Because you have heard about karma so much from your parents and your grandparents and your pandit and your church priest and your school teacher that you start believing कि नहीं मेरे तो कर्म ही ऐसे, इसलिए मुझे तो ये दुख झेलना ही है, मुझे तो ये बीमारी झेलनी ही है. कट क्लियर डिलीट, कट क्लियर डिलीट, कट क्लियर डिलीट. So what is the need? Think about it. I'll keep 30 seconds of silence. So now I'm going to take an example. I may have created this habit and pattern because it served me in some way, either in the past or it is serving me in some way in the present. Maybe I am punishing myself, or maybe I am punishing someone I love. For example, someone may have created an illness because they loved a parent deeply or they wanted to punish their parent. So then we call it a hereditary disease. मेरे नानी को पेट का प्रॉब्लम था, मेरी मम्मी को पेट का प्रॉब्लम था, और मैं उस परिवार में बिलोंग करती हूं, तो मुझे भी पेट का प्रॉब्लम होगा क्योंकि ये तो हमारे परिवार में चलते आता है, हेरिडिटरी थिंकिंग. और शायद ये इसकी वजह से चल रहा है कि हमारे घर की औरतें 50 या 60 में बीमार हो ही जाती है और उनको ये बीमारी आनी ही आनी है, ऐसा पंडित जी ने बताया है. So you create this illness because either you love your parent or you want to punish your parent, or you love your DNA and your lineage so much that you want to be a part of this illness. Oh, I'm going to have diabetes just like my daddy because I love my daddy. Oh, I'm going to have cancer because my mother suffered in cancer and I saw her suffering and I feel that it is going to be my fate because I have loved or hated my mother so much. Cut, clear, delete, cut, clear, delete, cut, clear, delete. It may not always be on a conscious level, but when you start looking within, you will find a pattern, either of illness, that is disease, health, or of money, earning money, not earning money, going into debt, not going into debt, being a miser, being a spendthrift, not saving money, saving a lot of money, hoarding a lot of money, everything related to money, everything related to health, everything related to relationships could be a pattern once you start looking within. Sometimes you can create negativity because you do not know how to handle some area of your life. Maybe because you did not have a parent to guide you, or maybe because you matured too early, or maybe because you have not matured at all and you act immaturely in most situations, whatever it is. Then you need to ask yourself. Now ask yourself these questions as I read. With regard to this pattern, जो भी आपका पैटर्न अभी आपने लिखा है, कट क्लियर डिलीट, इट्स नॉट योर पैटर्न, इट्स द एग्जिस्टिंग पैटर्न. Whatever pattern you have written down in your book, keeping your eyes closed, ask yourself these three questions. What am I feeling sorry about for this pattern? Think. Next. Who am I angry at with regard to this pattern? And believe me, you will always find one person, either your own self that you are angry at, that is why ये pattern repeat हो रहा है, or there is one person in your life whom you love so much, इसलिए ये pattern repeat हो रहा है, or there is a person in your life you hate so much, that is why ये pattern repeat हो रहा है. It cannot be an empty pattern. It either involves you or someone else. So ask yourself the question, who am I angry at? Next question, what am I trying to avoid with regard to this pattern? What am I trying to avoid? So many times, women in their prime, they want to please their in-laws, they want to please their husband. नई नई शादी होती है, so they want to avoid confrontation. एक बार सास ने धक्का दे दिया तो कुछ नहीं बोलेंगे, चलो जाने दो, घर में झगड़ा हो जाएगा और मेरे छोटे भाई की शादी नहीं होगी, छोटी बहन की शादी नहीं होगी, लोग क्या कहेंगे. दूसरे महीने में हस्बैंड ने एक थप्पड़ लगा दी और तुम चुप बैठ गए वापस कि जाने दो, मैं कुछ बोली तो और भी बात बिगड़ जाएगी, शायद मेरी ही गलती होगी कि मैंने उनके थाली में रोटी ठंडी रख दी. What are you trying to avoid? Confrontation, rebellion, displeasure, criticism, judgment. And then the final question, how will this save you? How is this pattern saving you? क्योंकि ये तो आदत बन गई है ना, तो ये हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ सेव कर रही है तुमको, कहीं ना कहीं डीप जाने से सेव कर रही है, रूट कॉज को देखने से सेव कर रही है. बिकॉज वंस यू लुक एट द रूट कॉज, माय गॉड, यू विल डिस्कवर अ कैन ऑफ वर्म्स. You will open up a Pandora's. So God, so much is going on in my mind. इतना कचरा भरा हुआ, इससे अच्छा जाने दो, डब्बा बंद ही रखो. Keep the door of the subconscious mind closed. So how is this saving you? And then you realize that if you're not ready to let something go, it doesn't matter whatever you do, how many therapies you have, how many angels you have, how many certifications you take, but if you are not ready to let anything go in your life, then it just doesn't work. And then you keep on asking, मैंने आकाशिक किया, मैंने वास्तु किया, मैंने ये किया, मैंने वो किया, तो भी ये सॉल्व नहीं हो रहा है, वो सॉल्व नहीं हो रहा है. सर ने ये बताया था, पंडित जी ने वो बताया था, उन्होंने ये किया था. But when you are not ready to let it go, it just does not work. And finally, when you acknowledge and realize it, that you are willing to let it go, and you take the next step, and the next step, and the next step, then it is amazing how even the smallest step can help you to release it. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Open your eyes and write down these three questions. What am I feeling sorry about? मान लो तुमने बिजनेस शुरू किया, तुमने होटल खोली, तुमने रेस्टोरेंट खोली, तुमने योगा सेंटर खोला, तुमने स्पिरिचुअल बिजनेस खोला, और 2-3 महीने, 4 महीने, 5 महीने उसमें पैसा पंप करके नहीं चला, और आजू बाजू के लोगों ने, हस्बैंड ने, सास ससुर ने, भाई ने, देवर ने, जेठ, मैंने तो कहा ही था ना ये सब चीजें नहीं चलती है. आप तो बिना मतलब इन चीजों में पैसा खर्चा कर रहे हो, आपको तो समझ में आता ही नहीं है, आपको तो पैसा उड़ाने की आदत हो गई है, आपको तो इतना सारा कुछ करने की आदत हो गई है. And then you start feeling sorry about yourself. So what are you feeling sorry about? Your inability to do what? Write it down. What am I feeling sorry about? Next question. Who am I angry at? 70% the answer will be yourself only. Yeah? 70%. जहां तक मैंने 25 सालों में ये सब्जेक्ट सीखा है, पढ़ा है, 70% इट इज ऑलवेज आजम यू आर एंग्री एट योर ओन सेल्फ कि साला मैं ही बुद्धू हूं, मैं ही पागल हूं, मैं, एंड देन यू स्टार्ट क्रिटिसाइजिंग योरसेल्फ कि मैं ही बेवकूफ हूं कि मैंने वो क्यों किया, मैं ही ऐसा हूं कि मैंने वो क्यों किया, मैं ही वैसा है कि मैंने वो इतना महंगा वेकेशन क्यों बुक किया जब मुझे पता था कि मेरा क्रेडिट कार्ड डेट इतना है, मैं ही ऐसा हूं कि मैं दोस्तों के साथ दोस्तों की बातों में आके उस दिन क्लबिंग करने क्यों गया जब मुझे पता है कि मुझे नेक्स्ट डे ऑफिस जाना है. सो इट्स ऑलवेज यू 70%. 30% is it is others, or it can be 50-50 also. What am I feeling sorry about? Who am I angry at? Next, what am I trying to avoid? This is very important. ये इसकी नब्ज तुमने पकड़ ली, इसकी नस पकड़ ली तुमने. What am I trying to avoid? तो समझो ये पैटर्न तुम्हारा रिलीज हो गया. What am I trying to avoid? And what do people want to avoid every time? Failure. Failure से लोग बहुत डरते हैं. अरे यार नहीं चला तो लोग हंसेंगे, इतना पैसा खर्चा किया मैंने, इतना ग्रैंड एकदम, ये किया वो किया वो किया. Failure. What am I trying to avoid? Common answer will be failure. It can be many other things. One of the common answers is confrontation. Keeping peace in the house. जाने दो ना यार, घर की बात है. बहुत बार ऐसे होता है ना. Your friends also, अरे छोड़ना यार, क्यों गड़े मुदे क्या बोलते हैं, क्यों गड़े हुए मुर्दे उखाड़ रहे हो, घर में बिना मतलब की रामायण हो जाएगी, महाभारत हो जाएगी, चुपचाप बैठ जा, छोड़ दे, जा जाके पिक्चर देख के आ जा. Friends and people give you such suggestions. They tell you to suppress. Who am I angry at? What am I trying to avoid? And how will this save me? If you're able to answer these 4 questions, and most importantly, if you're able to understand what are you trying to feel sorry about, that first question, then you are on your way to release the pattern. Okay? So now look at yourself, look at what you have written, and see कि तुम्हारे पैटर्न में क्या आ रहा है. लिखो, आंसर्स करो, थोड़ा लिखो. किसको अवॉइड कर रहे हो, कौन सी क्वालिटी को अवॉइड कर रहे हो. Who do you feel will get sad or disappointed? मम्मा पापा, आ गए पापा ऑफिस से, बेटी को बुलाओ, समझो बेटी का नाम कविता है, पुराने फिल्मों का एक सीन बता रहा हूँ. माँ ने बुलाया, माँ एकदम ऐसे घूंघट निकाल के चाय लेके आई, 60s में 70s में. कविता आई, हाँ पापा, हाँ पिताजी, हाँ बाबूजी, बेटी ये देखो तुम्हारे लिए लड़का दिखा है, बस कल आ रहे हैं और तुम्हें हाँ बोलनी है, बात खत्म हो गई. So what does the girl do? And most of you will be able to relate to that if you are of a certain vintage and age, क्योंकि तुम्हारी शादी ऐसी ही हुई है. तुमने आधे टाइम लड़का देखा नहीं देखा, 5 साल बड़ा, 10 साल बड़ा, 5 साल छोटा, क्या हो रहा था क्या नहीं हो रहा था, बस मम्मा पापा ना, पापा ने देखा अच्छा ही होगा, मम्मा ने देखा अच्छा ही होगा. माँ तो बेचारी घूंघट निकाल के वैसे खड़ी है, वो क्या बोलेगी. So put yourself in that, I'm sorry, not put yourself in that situation, but go back to your life and see what is happening. Oh God, I am to 70s born, but when I wanted to get married in 97, it was like my mother was throwing utensils at me. बर्तन के बर्तन, टोप लोटा, जो भी किचन के बर्तन होते हैं, पकड़ वो फेंक के मारती थी मुझे. मैंने बोला ना बस ये लड़की अच्छी, इसी से शादी करनी है. मैंने बोला नहीं, मुझे रीता से ही शादी करनी है. 1 साल तक ये ड्रामा चला. ना भी बोल दिया था रीता के परिवार वालों को, सब कुछ ना हो गया था. नहीं नहीं नहीं, वो लड़की नहीं चाहिए मुझे. वो क्यों नहीं चाहिए, बस बिकॉज शी वॉज अ लिटिल बिट डार्क. लोग क्या कहेंगे, दैट वॉज माई मदर्स रीजन. एंड शी इज एजुकेटेड सो शी विल नॉट वर्क एट होम. दैट वॉज दी, दीज वर द 2 रीजन, बस और कुछ. हाँ, 3rd रीजन था पैसे वाले घर की है, तो वो मेरे ऊपर हुक्म चलाएगी. कैन यू बिलीव अ वुमन टॉकिंग लाइक दिस अबाउट अनदर वुमन? बट इट इज अ ट्रू फैक्ट. And on the day of the marriage, there was violence. On the day of the reception, there was violence. And within 1 month of marriage, I had to leave Bombay and go to Panchgani. That is how the boarding school came into the picture. Night 2 o'clock, my mother would get up and take a burtan and go, "Ye le usse shadi karni, le shadi kar." She was like that. That violent. She was cut, clear, delete. अभी तो उनको छोड़ दिया, उनकी आत्मा वगैरह सब पूरी हो गई. But parents are very much like that. And even now also there are parents who are like that because they have gone through. They want to repeat the cycle. They are unable to break off the cycle. Either because they are uneducated most of the times, or they are illiterate. Even if they are educated, they are not aware. Even if they are aware, they don't want to do it because of familial or societal reasons. And it becomes our responsibility somewhere or the other to balance all these energies. And believe me, I do not know of a single male or a single female who has kept both sides happy. आपके पास कोई है तो मुझे नाम भेजना, मैं उनको अवार्ड दूंगा. A man or a woman cannot keep both sides happy, the in-laws and the parents. Possibly नहीं. I may be wrong. This is a belief system I have. But if you have kept both sides happy, धन्य हो आप लोग. चलो. So now what happens? Now what happens? Now listen to this. When you begin to work on yourself for releasing the pattern, this is very important. This is a common complaint why clients go away in between. Clients छोड़ के चले जाते. When you begin to work on yourself, sometimes things get worse before they get better. Write down this line. Things are going to get worse, at least for 2 days, 3 days, 5 days. That pattern will crop up. That habit will crop up from your conscious mind again and again, again and again. 4-5 दिन तो ऐसे लगेगा जैसे पूरी जिंदगी तुम्हारी उल्टी पुल्टी हो गई. तुमको ऐसे लगेगा यार इससे तो गॉड ये मैंने why did I even remove this top? Because a pattern is what? A pattern is like a leech. A pattern is like an entity. वो बॉडी को चिपका हुआ है, ऑरा को चिपका हुआ है. तुम उसको अभी अक्नॉलेज करके निकालने जा रहे हो तो तुम I don't even know how to visualize it. Cut, clear, delete. Imagine करो एक बिच्छू तुमको लगा हुआ है या क्या बोलते हैं स्कॉर्पियन या लीच और उसको तुम खींच रहे हो तुम्हारी बॉडी से, एंटिटी को खींच रहे हो तो कैसा फीलिंग होता है? एंटिटी छोड़ना नहीं चाहती है बॉडी. बिच्छू या जो भी लीच होगा वो छोड़ना नहीं चाहता है. And then they create a lot of ruckus. So when you begin to work on yourself, sometimes things get worse before they get better. And it is okay if that happens, because you know that it is the beginning of the process. Any healing will first take you a little more lower, a little more down, because you have to face that fear, you have to face that root cause of the problem. It is untangling old threads. ये जो है ना गांठें जो लगी हुई होती है ना इसमें, वो अनटैंगल हो रही है, एक एक करके खुल रही है. ओके. और जब वो एक एक करके खुलती है ऐसे, फिर क्या हो जाता है? The process becomes smooth like this. It is untangling old threads. You just have to flow with it. It takes time and effort to learn what you need to learn. Do not demand instant change of the pattern. कल से सुबह 5 बजे जिम जा रहा हूँ, ये कर रहा हूँ, वो कर रहा हूँ, बस कल से म्यूजली खाऊंगा, कल से 2 फ्रूट खाऊंगा, लंच में नो दिस वन, नो चिकन, ये नहीं, वो नहीं. Don't try to take that into, all of a sudden. It's just not going to happen. It's 27th of January. How many resolutions would have been broken worldwide? It all starts with the 1st of January. By the 3rd week, the energy tapers down. Because instant change चाहिए. January beginning सबसे ज्यादा कमाई किसी की है तो it is dietitians, nutritionists and gym membership. क्योंकि ये सबसे मैक्सिमम डिस्काउंट देते हैं और लोग पूरे साल का पैसा भर देते हैं. जिम का, न्यूट्रिशन का, डाइटिशियन का 1 महीना जाते हैं और फिर जाते ही नहीं. I had booked for Anjali Chavdiya is Anjali Chavdiya है क्या नाम उसका? अंजलि, nutritionist or dietitian. Then there was this one gym in Bandra which was for releasing the fat. फैट की नई नई मशीन आई थी, 2 गिलास गर्म पानी पे पी के वो मशीन को pretty slim clinic in Bandra. क्या क्या नहीं किया ये भगवान. Then I joined Talwar Curls. This was all in 2014, 15, 16, 17. कुछ नहीं, बॉडी अच्छी खासी थी लेकिन वो क्रेज था ना उस टाइम पे कि थोड़ा. And like a fool, within 3 years I spent near about 1.5 lakh taking all these memberships and these all gym ka and dietitian ka and nutrition ka. And then she would give me a small diary and आज चने मुरमुरे खाने हैं, आज खाली जवार का पफ खाना. अरे यार चने मुरमुरे खा के किसका पेट भरे? मेरा तो नहीं भरता है, मुझे नहीं पता, मेरे से तो डाइटिंग वाइटिंग नहीं हुई. ये नहीं करना है, वो नहीं करना है, दूध वाली चाय नहीं पीनी है, बिना शक्कर की चाय पीनी है, ये करना. ओ गॉड. एंड इट वाज नॉट कि आई कट क्लियर डिलीट आई हैड अ डिजीज और आई वाज ओवरवेट या वैसा भी कुछ नहीं था. इट वाज जस्ट दैट क्रेजी थिंग कि बस एक अपने आप को थोड़ा ये करना है, वो करना है, एंड ऑल दैट. सो वो एक है. So it takes time and effort to learn what you need to learn. Don't demand instant change. Impatience is only resistance to learn. And that is why many people go away from therapies, from coaching, because 2-3 सेशन हुए थेरेपी के, 2-3 कोचिंग के सेशन हुए, 2-3 ग्रुप सेशन हुए, उनको लगता है बस अभी लाइफ चेंज हो जाएगी, और वो होता ही नहीं. It takes 1 year for a normal person. For a fast learner, it will take 6 months. And for a super fast learner who's really into it, very aware, 3 months. That's my timeline. 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year. Let yourself do it step by step. It will get easier as you go along the way. So now the last part of releasing pattern. What is that statement? Blame game nahi hona chahiye. So write down the next point. Stop the blame game. अगर पैटर्न रिलीज करना है, blame में मत जाओ. नहीं नहीं, लेकिन है ना, उन्होंने ऐसा किया था ना, तो बस अभी एक बार तो उनको आके मुझसे माफी मांगनी चाहिए. एक बार तो वो आके मेरे सामने नाक रगड़ दे. एक बार तो वो मुझे फोन करके बोले कि मेरे से गलती हुई. वो उसमें स्टक रहोगे तो यू कैन नॉट रिलीज द पैटर्न. सो फॉरगिवनेस बिकम्स इंपॉर्टेंट. Releasing the anger becomes important. So again, I'll read something. No matter what the issue was, whether it was early childhood or adulthood or a past life thing, the best of the or the worst. Who is in charge now? I am totally in charge of my life now. Let's say your father was XYZ. Now the father does not live with you, or the mother does not live with you, or XYZ, जो कोई भी सिचुएशन है. Now, if you say कि नहीं, मेरे बाप की वजह से ना मेरा पूरा करियर खराब हो गया, नहीं तो मैं भी कुछ कर दिखाता. No. Now who is in charge? You, na? You are 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, you are earning money, you have all your freedom. Take charge of your life. अभी अपने बाप को क्यों कोस रहे हो? हो गया हो गया. Otherwise you will carry that in your subconscious pattern and then it will come to your child also. और तुम पास्ट का जनरेशन तो खराब हुआ ही है, फ्यूचर का जनरेशन भी खराब है. Who is in charge now? Write down. I am totally in charge of my life now. Write down this statement. I am totally in charge of my life now. बस उतना स्टेटमेंट खाली लिख लो. Then I'm reading again. So you can spend time blaming your parents, your early environment, your school, your religion, your culture, but all that accomplishes is keeping you stuck in victim patterns. फिर इसको बोलते हैं victim pattern. It never gets you good. It never gets you the good that you want, because write down this line in bold letters somewhere. My current thinking shapes my future. My current thinking shapes my future. So whatever you are thinking right now is shaping your future tomorrow. So you sit down and you regret your past, it is shaping your future. Again, you'll sit down after 1 month and you'll regret your past. Again, you'll sit down in 2026 and you'll regret your past. ये क्यों हुआ? उसने ऐसा क्यों किया? उसने मेरी प्रॉपर्टी क्यों नहीं दी? उसने मेरा पैसा क्यों नहीं दिया? You keep on sitting year after year in that pattern and then you wonder, 9 साल हो गए, 10 साल हो गए, केस खत्म ही नहीं हो रहा है. 25 साल हो गए, केस खत्म ही नहीं हो रहा है. 10 साल हो गए, बीमारी जा ही नहीं रही है. Because you are stuck in the victim pattern. My current thinking shapes my future. So you can either create a life of negativity and pain, or you can create a life of unlimited joy. The choice is always yours. So write down the statement. While releasing patterns, the choice is always mine. So quickly, another small meditation of 3 minutes, and then we wind up with one last powerful statement. Then you can work on your patterns. You have all the time. Okay? Chalo. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Place both your hands on your heart center. Place both your hands on your heart center. Center of the heart. Okay? Take 3 deep breaths. Today I am willing to release this pattern. I am ready. I am willing. I am open. I am let the causes, let the effects come. which are positive, empowering, and joyful. No matter how long this pattern has been a negative belief in my subconscious, I now affirm with all my heart that I am free of this pattern. I affirm that I am willing to release the causes and patterns in my subconscious mind that are creating any more negative conditions in my life. I affirm that I am now willing to release the need for any negative situation and condition. I understand and I know and I have become aware that once I work on this pattern step by step, it is going to disappear, fade away, and dissolve back into nothingness from where it has come. The old garbage no longer has a hold on me. It is like closing the door after the day has been complete. Today, I close the door on old painful memories and patterns. Today, I close the doors on old hurts and old self-righteous unforgiveness. From today, I am willing to take an incident in my life where there was pain and hurt, and I am willing to work on forgiveness. First of all, I'm even willing to acknowledge and look at it, that it is existing in my life. And I ask myself, how long do I want to hold on to this? 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, 10 years, this entire lifetime? How long do I want to suffer because of something that took place in the past, days ago, weeks ago, years ago, centuries ago, lifetimes ago? Today I understand. And I see a stream in front of me. And I take this old experience, this pain, this hurt, this unforgiveness, and put the whole incident in the stream of love, light, and truth. And see it begin to dissolve and drift away into the black hole, into the nothingness, where everything dissolves and comes back to light. This pattern existing, which I have been writing and thinking about in this session, is going to totally dissipate and disappear from my life in the next dash months. Because today I realize I have the ability to let it go. I do have the capacity to release it. I definitely have the awareness to dissolve it. And I surely have the power of choice, the free will, to completely and fully release it, let it go, and dissolve it from my life. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Take 3 deep breaths, and whenever you're ready, open your eyes. And write down this one line. I affirm that I am willing to release. I affirm that I am willing to release the causes and patterns in my consciousness that have created this situation. So this is that line, this is that affirmation. This is that declaration you're going to work on. Whenever you talk about a pattern, a behavioral issue, or a situation in your life, you will say, I affirm and क्या था? किधर गया? I affirm that I'm willing to release the causes and patterns. I affirm that I'm willing to release the causes and patterns in my consciousness that are creating or that have created this situation in my life. And that situation can be a pattern, behavioral pattern, anything which is keeping you stuck. And you can work on this. You can take one pattern at a time. इसमें कोई रूल्स नहीं है 21 दिन करना है 40 दिन करना है 5 दिन करना है. तुमको जब भी लगे कि तुम कहीं पर अटक रहे हो, मैं तुमको टूल दे रहा हूं. मैं तुमको मेरे ऊपर डिपेंडेंट नहीं बना रहा हूं. मैं तुमको टूल दे रहा हूं, तुमको वो टूल से काम करना. मैंने तुमको मिर्ची, धनिया पाउडर, हल्दी वगैरह, तेल, ऑयल सब लाके दे दिया, रेसिपी दे दिया. अभी तुम लेके बर्तन लेके गैस शुरू करके उतना भी नहीं करोगे, मसाला डाल के खाना भी नहीं पकाओगे, तो मैं तो वहां पर आ नहीं सकता ना खाना खिलाने के लिए. So it's like that. When I give you a tool, this is a tool. Releasing tool के ये 4 steps मैंने तुमको दे दिए, statements दे दिए, explain कर दिया कैसे करना है. So you take the tool, you work on yourself. Obviously, if it is abuse, if it is trauma, if it is something very deep, then you have to work with a therapist. फिर अकेले में नहीं कर सकते. लेकिन छोटी छोटी आदतें हैं, तो ये आदतों के ऊपर तुम खुद पे काम कर सकते. बड़ी आदतें हैं, बड़ी आदतें, कोई आदत बड़ी नहीं होती, लेकिन एंट्रेंच्ड होती है, डीप एकदम एम्बेडेड होती है, तो उसके लिए तुमको थेरेपी या पर्सनल सेशन लगता है. नहीं तो यू कैन वर्क ऑन योरसेल्फ विद दिस टूल. नाउ क्विकली क्वेश्चन. At the beginning of the final meditation, your audio was breaking up. It will be the same way even in the recording. No, it will not be the same way. I have checked it and I'll check it again and I'll send it to you. All right. ये मैंने अभी, please repeat one more time. वो अभी आप लोगों को recording में देखना है. I didn't get a link. Okay, अभी सबको लिंक भेजने के बाद में इनको लिंक कैसे नहीं मिला? What was the 4th question? 4 क्वेश्चन. कोई एक जन अभी टाइप करके मुझे भेज दो, मैं वो फॉरवर्ड कर देता हूँ वापस. ठीक है, that's it. मुझे भी 4 क्वेश्चन अभी याद नहीं आ रहे, इधर उधर देखने पड़ेंगे. आप लोग एक बार जिसने भी लिखे हैं, you just okay type it and send it to me, so I will send it in that broadcast जो मैंने किया था, and it will be done. Copy it quickly, okay? All right, so now one further information. I took the group session today because Wednesday is new moon and I have a certain kriya to be performed, so I will not be able to take a group session. इसलिए मैंने आज Monday को group session ले लिया. I'll send you a message. Tomorrow Tuesday there's no class. Wednesday is the new moon and it's the first new moon, first अमावस्या of the month. तो काफी सारी क्रियाएं बाकी है जो मुझे माँ काली का काम करना है. So there will be no class on Wednesday at all. So you can do your own new moon healing in whichever way you want to do. Question भेज दिया है 4th वाला. What am I trying to avoid? Okay, what am I trying to avoid is the 4th question. भी कोई बोल रहा है मैंने 3 ही क्वेश्चन दिए, तो एक जन पूरे 4 क्वेश्चन टाइप करके भेज दो. So then I will quickly say 4 क्वेश्चन थे. I remember very clearly. Yeah, 1 second, एक बार मैं देख ही लेता हूँ, ताकि नहीं तो वो छोटी छोटी बात के लिए वापस से 10 मैसेज आएंगे तो हो गया टाइम. 1 second. कोई भेज रहा है लिख के तो देखो, नहीं तो फिर मुझे मेरी डायरी में वापस पेजेस टर्न कर सकते हैं. Okay, how does this pattern save me? उसके बाद just check the questions. How does this pattern save me? What am I trying to avoid? ये हो गए 2, और 2 कौन से? अभी वो 2 देखो, एक जन कोई भेज दो, 2 या 2 जन टाइप कर रहे थे. So in the meantime, while they type, I'm repeating once again, there are no classes on Wednesday at all. Wednesday is the first new moon of 2025. New moon यानी अमावस्या. आपको जो भी करना है उस दिन कीजिए. काली माँ के सेशंस जो बाकी है तो वो देख लो, ग्रुप सेशन बाकी है तो वो देख लो, ट्रेनिंग जो बाकी है तो वो पूरा कर लो. ट्यूसडे वेडनेसडे कोई क्लासेस नहीं है. थर्सडे एज यूजुअल यू विल हैव 1 group session and 1 Kali Ma session. Okay, so Thursday as usual it is there 9 to 11, 9 to 9:45 and then 10 to 11. All right, today I was going to take a training लेकिन हुआ नहीं, so you can watch the other trainings. Yeah, अभी ये क्वेश्चन सारे आ गए. What am I trying to avoid? What am I angry at? What am I feeling sorry about? And how does this pattern पैटर्न सेव। ये मैं वापस यहाँ पर अभी भेज देता हूँ, 1 मिनट। ये मैंने सबको भेज दिया इन द ब्रॉडकास्ट। बराबर। What am I feeling sorry about? Who am I angry at? What am I trying to avoid? And what is the or ठीक है, what am I trying to avoid? I'll send it to you in the 1 second. चलो, थैंक यू। ये मैंने ग्रुप में भेज दिया। ग्रुप यानी वो जो ब्रॉडकास्ट का था। हाउ डज दिस पैटर्न सेव मी? व्हाट एम आई फीलिंग सॉरी अबाउट? व्हाट एम आई एंग्री अबाउट? एंड व्हाट एम आई ट्राइंग टू अवॉइड? दीज वर द 4 प्रॉपर क्वेश्चंस। ठीक है, all right, done. Chalo, thank you. I'll see you on Thursday. Right now only I'm telling you, Thursday 9 to 9:45 will be the group session, and 10 to 11 will be the Mahakali session. No classes, no sessions on Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday is new moon. Please do at least one Kalima session, whichever you want to repeat, or whichever you want to do again and again. You can do all Kalima sessions again and again as many times as you want, but one session per day only. That is the only condition I have told you so far. Thank you. See you. Recording will, this is the group session recording. It will be put up in the group session link, which most of you have. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.